Welcome to the Mid-Michigan Business Wrap Evening Edition on your drive home on this very sunny, one of the last days of September as we move into the autumn. Well, you know, there's no reason to be upset about it. The summer's going to end. Autumn's going to come. There's not much we can do about it except maybe have some apple cider and realize that we live in a beautiful state. And fall colors, I'm told, are at their peak right now in the Upper Peninsula, and it's coming our way. Thank you very much. I'm Michael Patrick Shields. You can find all of us at spotlightmm.com if you want to hear the program again or connect with any of the expert panel we have with us. For the next hour, we're going to be talking about business ideas and theories, maybe what you learned at work today, maybe what you wish you learned at work today, and maybe what you'll be able to use tomorrow to make your career a little better, make your work life a little better, or maybe just a little bit happier, or the big idea might come to you, and that's what we do. We try to do a little brainstorming here, and we do that with our expert panel every week. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around, they'll introduce themselves, say where they're from, what's on their mind maybe, so that when we start really brainstorming, you'll recognize their voice the rest of the way. It's a big round table right down here in our Gillespie Group storefront studio. And this program is brought to you by Dart Development Group. Sir.
Good morning, Michael Patrick. Scott Danek, Trebilcock and Danek Financial. And at the risk of bogging down the introductions, I'd like to give out a couple of shout-outs this morning. One is to my oldest daughter, Alexa. She was just recently elected by her peers or voted by her peers to be on the homecoming float, so to speak, as a freshman, so I'm proud of that.
As a freshman?
No, they elect two freshmen girls, two sophomore girls, etc. So anyway, she's excited about that, as I am. And I'd also like to say thank you to the Doties. They were out yesterday and replaced our furnace.
Oh, really?
And I was very, very impressed. Gary, right up to the last minute, was analyzing, and I like, in a very positive way, say agonizing over which furnace we should have. He really, really took it seriously and made sure that we had the right size furnace, and spent a lot of time with me on the phone deciding which we were going to do. And then the staff that was out there, his workers, were great, and even exchanged a little conversation with my 7-year-old through the ductwork when she realized that if she said hello at the other end of the house, they could hear, so they were talking to her. So anyway, they did a great job. I really appreciate it.
So the owner himself came out, huh?
Yes, Gary had been out a couple of times before, measuring and looking and making sure that what we thought made sense and what he made sense would work. But like I said, we actually had a different size furnace on the ground at 8:30 in the morning, and then by about 10 there was a different size furnace, because he just right up until the last minute was just thinking about that project to make sure it was exactly right. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, an example of some terrific service from Doty Mechanical Heating and Cooling. And your partner is with you.
Good morning, Jim.
That's easy for you to say.
Choked on myself. Jim Trebilcock and Danek Financial. And if you're going to bog down an introduction, that's a nice way to do it. I have seen Scott's daughter as she's grown.
Yeah.
And my poor partner is going to have to get a bat to protect her.
Yeah.
She's a beautiful, beautiful young lady, and it's only going to get worse. The only thing that I have to say to start out is this is the first day I've had to wear a long-sleeve shirt, and I guess I really didn't, but it lets me know that the end of the golf season's coming. That's sad.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the way I'm playing, it's not so sad.
Yeah, me too. I'm ready. I'm playing out my commitments, and that's it for the year. Got
Not
one more to
forever,
go. Well, I don't know.
No.
Usually what happens is you get the light of battle again somewhere in the middle of winter, and that kind of thing. But, well, hey, and the tough thing, too, when you play this time of year, when the leaves start falling, you can't find your ball because, I use the rough exclusively.
That's true, but the way we hit them, that's good, because we hit them so far offline, we'd lose them anyway, so you play the leaf rule.
Oh, the leaf rule.
You get to drop it, no penalty.
How generous. Very good.
The leaf rule.
The next to Jim and Scott is?
Kim Laferette with Coldwell Banker Hubble Briarwood, and my husband and I are celebrating our 30th anniversary on Monday, October 4th.
Wow.
I can't believe he's put up with me that long, or vice versa. And we're going to be headed out to New England to enjoy some of the fall color leaves out in New England.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Oh, nice.
we're going to do a road trip. We haven't done this in 30 years.
Do you know where you're going yet?
We do. We're going to head to Boston first, and then head down, and we've got a bed and breakfast in Cape Cod for a couple of nights.
Oh, right.
And then we're headed up the coast, up as far as Bar Harbor, Maine,
Oh, my
and then
gosh.
across through the White Mountains in Vermont on the way back. So
Oh, my
we're going to
gosh.
do the seaside as well as the mountains.
Wow, what a trip. You'll
I'm
be
excited.
past. Have you been that way before?
We've not.
All right. Bar Harbor is really, really cool. It seems like you're on the end of the world out there.
That's what I
great.
understand.
Yeah. And
Yep.
you'll be passing Kennebunkport right through on your way to there.
Well, I was thinking about asking you where we might want to stay or
Yeah,
something.
you could stop at the Cape Arundel Inn and stay right next to President Bush's house
There's a thought.
if you want, or have lunch at Mabel's. If you like lobster and that kind of thing, and you can have a great time.
Well,
Let me know because I have people who can set you up.
Wonderful. I love that.
It's about 90 miles north of Boston, so we'll talk offline, as they say,
Okay.
about that kind of thing.
Sounds good.
And sir,
Good afternoon, Bob Hedlund from Hedlund Plumbing. And I mentioned it this morning's on this morning's show, but everybody's driving home, and don't forget those hose bibs. We're getting into that season, and in case you didn't hear, we're the cool nights. It's only a matter of time. That temperature is going to be dropping below freezing, and when you get home, especially unused ones off to the side, make sure to get those hoses removed from your outside faucets, or you will be having problems. The first cold night with a hose attached, more than likely we get an awful lot of service calls after that.
what happens?
Basically, the faucet itself is designed to drain itself out. If the hose is left attached, it cannot drain. That water gets trapped inside, and when it freezes, it expands, splits the valve open, and you don't always notice it right away, but the next time you go to use it, the water will leak into the basement, and it'll leak a lot.
Oh, really?
The best way to preventing it is just make sure those hoses, if you use it, it's fine. You can use hoses all winter long. That's fine. But make sure they do not get left on there when the water isn't flowing.
That's one of the biggest bummers of all, isn't it, when you have a basement flooding?
That's, yeah. And lots of times I've seen it to where people aren't even aware that it's leaking because when it leaks, the water is still coming out of the hose. So as they're using the water in the end of the hose, it's leaking into the basement if it's split open, and then the damage is done. And sometimes I've seen it to where it goes days or weeks, and they don't even realize they had a leak. So that's why when you start getting into this time of year, just a habit of making sure those are taken off.
I saw somebody on Facebook yesterday say, I'm just about in tears because my basement's flooded. I think everything's ruined.
And
You see that kind of work?
we have. It's whether it's a sump pump failure, whether it's water like that. Some of the damages we've seen is it's bad. I've seen it as high as literally you open the basement door, and the first step is underwater.
Kidding.
I've seen basements to where the
Really?
water is all the way up above the floor joists. Everything they have, it's literally like jumping into a pool, and then it has to
Wouldn't that be
be all pumped out and everything. And I've seen that.
That'd be awful. Well, I gave them your name on Facebook anyway.
Well,
Maybe
thank
they'll call. And in the third base spot,
Cheryl Freeborough from Hyundai of Lansing, and we are located on Saginaw Highway in Grand Ledge, about 5 miles west of the Lansing Mall, just 3 miles west of where all the interchanges come in, 96, 69, 496. So come out and see us. We've got a lot of great things going on. We talk about winterizing our vehicles as well. And, of course, this is the time of the year when everybody has to drive to their cottage and start winterizing those
Oh,
as
yeah.
well. We usually don't winterize. We have a cottage on Lake Huron, and it's just it's a summer cottage. It's not winterized at all. And we usually start winterizing it. I think we try to give ourselves, not till Thanksgiving, but just after Halloween, we start doing that because we usually have a Halloween. Well, that's where we do our spooky stuff, is at the cottage.
oh, do you?
So, yeah.
What city
yeah.
is that in?
That's in Lexington.
Lexington, right? And
Right north of Port Huron on Lake Huron. And
Hey, Cheryl,
people close by.
is that area starting to fill up now? Are more people buying on the east side as opposed to the west side? It used to be kind of barren over
Yeah,
there.
it used to be, but these little towns, what people don't realize is because everybody goes west so much that they don't realize the ambiance of these little towns. Lexington is just delightful. They've got a big theater there now. They have things going on all the time. They have a music fest in the summertime right on the harbor. But I think a lot of the little towns all the way up the coast, Port Sand Lake, Harbor Beach, all of those places all the way up to Port Austin have delightful little events all summer long, and people don't realize the beauty of the east side of the state. They always think the west side of the state for cottages. But Lake Huron is delightful, and it's beautiful, and it does get warmer. by August, you can almost get in the water there. And Lake Michigan, I think it takes a little bit longer. Lake Superior, you can never get in. But the cities are delightful, and yeah, we do see a lot of more people going to those areas.
I went to school in Marquette, so
Okay,
it's
then
right
you
on
know.
Lake Superior, and I
Okay.
actually, in my senior year, I lived on Lake Superior, and
Oh, that's gorgeous.
it's actually painful sometimes. You
Yes,
can
it
win,
hurts.
but
Yeah.
boy,
Yeah. We used to
It'd get your
camp up. We used
attention.
to camp up there, right on Lake Superior, and fish. And my husband, and it was a very desolate campground. No showers, none of that. So he would actually, we both, but he more than me, would be able to get in and wash up in Lake Superior. And man, is that cold.
yeah, I think it's where they filmed that famous Seinfeld episode.
Yeah.
Popsicle toes is what we're
Yes,
talking about
yes.
this afternoon on the Mid-Michigan Business Wrap Evening Edition. Drive safely on your way home from work. Stay with us. We'll be here the rest of the hour. Kim LaForette is here from Coldwell Banker, Hubble Briarwood. Bob Hedlund from Hedlund Plumbing. Cheryl Freeborough, Hyundai of Lansing. Scott Danick and Jim Trebilcock from Trebilcock and Danick Financial. I'm Michael Patrick Shields, back in a flash.